The show you're about to see is performed by highly trained professional athletes. The moves and actions are incredibly dangerous when not done by skilled professionals. Please do not attempt to try and do anything that you see in this program at home.
Hello and welcome to this very special episode of British Wrestling Weekly. I'm Ollie Davis from the Wrestle Talk TV YouTube channel, where I host the daily wrestling news, a selection of cool list videos and loads of other awesome wrestling related stuff. This puts me in extremely good stead for the concluding instalment of our 2-week special. Yes, with Series 2 of British Wrestling Weekly officially concluding with the spectacular 20-man over-the-top NGW Destiny Rumble contest. The guys and girls at New Generation Wrestling asked me to compile a special top 5 list of its biggest highlights. However, with the series being too massive for just 5 spots alone, I decided to go one step further, stretching it over 2 weeks with my official top 10 unmissable moments from Series 2 of British Wrestling Weekly. There's certainly been some amazing matches, incredible twists and shocking turns on this show over the past series. Last week, we covered everything from the Super Speed Gen X League to the huge battle between Team Scotland against Team England. We looked at the heated rivalry between the Mexican sensation El Ligero and British Wrestling's Crown Prince of Betrayal, Dara Diablo, all the way to the clash of childhood best friends over championship gold as Matt Myers took on NGW Unified Heavyweight Champion, the show stealer Nathan Cruz, in one of the most emotional encounters in televised British wrestling history. Yet that was just slots 10 to 6, and we've now got the other half of a truly unmissable list coming your way over the next 60 minutes. So, without further ado, let's kick things off and take a look at what we selected for spot number 5. The NGW Unified Heavyweight title has rapidly become the most regularly defended title in televised British wrestling history, with champion Nathan Cruz's list of potential contenders becoming seemingly endless this series. The constant demand for a shot at Cruz will become a theme throughout this episode. NGW management's desire to find a rightful number 1 contender for a nationally televised title shot against Cruz led to a 4-man knockout tournament. In one bracket, the former champion yet to receive his rematch against Cruz, the Control's unstoppable monster Rampage Brown, would advance by beating one half of the New Generation Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Heavyweight House of Pain, Styx. And on the other side of the bracket, British Wrestling Weekly would be treated to one of its best technical matches this series. Liverpool's number 1, ZACK GIBSON, would take on the man that WWE.com had just called the best wrestler on the planet not to be signed to a contract with them. That man was none other than the incredible Zack Sabre Jr. The results would be pure in-ring magic.
We'll take on the winner of next week's main event between the undisputed heavyweight champion of NGW, the show stealer Nathan Cruz, and his childhood best friend Matt Myers. And look at that, look at Gibson early on, going for that Shankly Gates. Oh, and look at that. An attempt there at that Fujiwara armbar by Zack Sabre Jr. and these guys. God, these guys are so good, so proficient, and despite a difference in size, they are so evenly matched when it comes to the mechanics and the technical aspect of British professional wrestling. And surprisingly, this crowd here siding with Gibson. And I say surprisingly because let's not forget the last time that Gibson was in this building, he went to the limit with the show stealer Nathan Cruz. But over recent weeks and recent months, we have seen a different side of the fans' reaction to Zack Gibson, because this guy must be given credit for his fortitude in that ring, He's persistence, he's perseverance, and he's damn right toughness. And now we're going to have the opportunity to see a very different side of him, and that is his wrestling, because that is the word on the marquee. SABRE there, reverses that, and this crowd being treated to some fantastic world of sport style wrestling. Remember, the UK wrestling scene was the envy of the entire world when it came to the mechanics of in-ring technical wrestling, and we are seeing in this contest that those skills and those talents have not been lost by its new generation. The SABRE Jr. there, straight back on the arm. God, this guy knows where he is in every instant. Textbook European uppercut, head to the stomach, and a combination of the two. And oh! My God, he could have just dislocated the shoulder of ZACK SABRE Jr., who follows in, and the force of that kick sent him over the top rope. SABRE Jr. there, protecting that arm, and his face isn't showing the pain, but that looked like he could have popped an arm out there. Oh, God. This has moved from a game of physical chess into a game of pain. Oh, look at that submission. And he's got the arm. He's got that key lock on. And look at that. All of the body weight of ZACK SABRE Jr. is being used as a weapon against the man that he must beat to go to the next round of this 4-man knockout tournament. And SABRE Jr. And Gibson reverses, and into a suplex. God, he gets out. People talk about just how good ZACK SABRE Jr. is, but you're seeing here on British Wrestling Weekly why Zack Gibson, in many people's eyes, is the best pound-for-pound wrestler in the United Kingdom today. We knew this match was going to be good, but these two are not disappointing, because the most important televised singles title in the UK today is on the line, and look at that. Oh, and he rolls through, and he's got that Fujiwara armbar. And Gibson must keep those fingers connected in that butcher's hook. Yeah, he used the leverage there and he got out of it, but for how long? Standing double leg Nelson by Gibson. SABRE rolls through there. Gibson reverses again. And these two backs and forwards, and Adam Johnson struggling to count as I am struggling to commentate by these two masters. And Gibson, big uppercut there. And he's setting up, he's going for that Merseyside drop. But it was reversed. And that kick to the face. That could have knocked Gibson out. Just a two. We know what Gibson was going for there. That Merseyside drop, the knees to the face. And it was blocked and reversed by ZACK SABRE Jr., who followed up with a vicious, brutal, direct kick to the face. There's no other way of calling it. You'll see it here on our replay. He was reversed, and look at the force of this. Bang! Straight in the face. And how that has knocked Gibson out is beyond me. But he didn't, and as a result, this one carries on. SABRE Jr. running European uppercut, goes for a second here and he hits it. Gibson here on Dream Street. Catches the foot and he pulls out. Gibson is holding on for dear life. Look at that. Precision kick to the arm. And watch him. And he went for that Mersey drop from the second and he didn't quite connect. He slipped. Could that be enough? No. That must be heartbreaking for Gibson because he didn't quite connect. But he's not done yet. Look at that. Fisherman Buster in the center of the ring. And if I know Gibson, he's going for the pin. Could he? I was going to say, if I know Gibson, he'll go for that Shankly Gate. But I think his desire to pin the best wrestler not signed to a WWE contract, in the words of the WWE, was too much of a lure. And now he goes, and he's got that Shankly Gate, my God. He's got that in the center of the ring. And ZACK SABRE Jr., worse than being pinned in some instances, may actually tap out. Could you imagine that? And SABRE Jr. is getting out. He's fighting with everything he has, and Gibson holds on, rolls through, and he's got it back. He's got it back. But SABRE Jr., look at it. No, this could be it. Whoa. And Gibson, God, SABRE Jr. is so good, so fast, and this one carries on with that uppercut. Double thrust chop to the throat. SABRE Jr. through the legs. So fast, so quick. Spins around. How can these two guys keep up with each other? And Gibson. Gibson wins. Gibson wins, my God. Gibson has just beaten ZACK SABRE Jr. and advanced to the next round.
ZACK GIBSON's advancement into the 4-man knockout tournament finals against the Control's Rampage Brown will play a part in our list later. For now, however, remember that you can let us know your personal highlight of Series 2 online by using the hashtag NGWUK. Also, don't forget that British Wrestling Weekly Series 3 starts on June 4th. No need to worry until then though, as we'll still be here each and every week with a series of special episodes counting down to the big return. Talking of which, we'll continue our countdown of the top 10 unmissable highlights of Series 2 after a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
WrestlePlus.com is the brand new home of incredible online wrestling content, featuring uncensored shoot interview classics, full series of WrestleTalk TV and British Wrestling Weekly, exclusive documentaries, wrestling's biggest names before they were stars, an incredible podcast collection, up to 90% off merchandise offers, and the brand new Power Slammed e-magazine forwarded by Finn Martin himself. WrestlePlus has thousands of hours of content with new and exclusive releases added regularly. You can join today for the stupidly low price of just £4.99 a month. WrestlePlus, because this is wrestling. The show you're about to see is performed by highly trained professional athletes. The moves and actions are incredibly dangerous when not done by skilled professionals. Please do not attempt to try and do anything that you see in this program at home.
Welcome back to this very special edition of British Wrestling Weekly. I'm Ollie Davis from the WrestleTalk TV YouTube channel, and I've been drafted in for 2 weeks specially to count down the top 10 unmissable moments from Series 2 of this very show. A series which ended with the spectacular 20-man Destiny Rumble contest. Don't forget that the eagerly awaited Series 3 begins on June the 4th. For now, however, let's get straight back to our list and see what made it in at number 4. Regular viewers of British Wrestling Weekly would be hard-pressed to claim that the often bizarre actions of the righteous Joseph Connors alongside the dark and enigmatic Lilith have not been truly attention-grabbing, if not somewhat disturbing. Yet, it would also be almost impossible to say that Connor's intended target, NGW Academy graduate Liam Slater, has not just stood up for himself, but also rapidly turned into a one-man army against Connors and his followers. While it is clear that there is still much we are yet to understand about the righteous Joseph Connors, Lilith, and their long-term agenda within NGW, one thing is for sure: the ever-developing and often epic saga between both them and Liam Slater has been without question one of the most dramatic and fascinating stories to have come out of British Wrestling Weekly Series 2.
Lifting up Robbie X, this doesn't look good, and Liam Slater, who's back in the ring, but he is literally knocked for 6, and Lilith is saying something in the ear. This is frankly quite disturbing, because Liam Slater, who may seriously have a concussion, and is in that corner, has Lilith in the ear, as Joe Connor's going for that, surely not that. Look at this, she's like a snake in the Garden of Eden, wrapped around Slater, who gets hit with that second DDT, and Slater needs to do something to break, can he? Oh, he just about, Liam Slater breaks up that cover, and Slater is out on his feet, and look at that, straight to the face of this young standout from the NGW Training Academy, and this has become very, very uncomfortable to watch right now, because Robbie X has taken not 1 but 2 DDTs from Joseph Connors, and it looks like it's still not over. And look at Dan James and Lilith holding Liam Slater and forcing him to watch, and something tells me what we're about to see is not going to be good. Oh, not a third, no way, oh. There is no way Robbie X is going to kick out of that, and this one's over. Connors and James win. That what we knew this was going to be something. I had no idea exactly what it was going to be, but there is no question and no doubt that it was one of the most uncomfortable things that we've had to watch in this series of British Wrestling Weekly. And I said it earlier, and I'm going to say it again, but with even more vigour. Joseph Connors, the righteous Joseph Connors, may just be one of the most dangerous men in British wrestling today. A master manipulator, a master propagandist, and now, as it appears, a sadistic individual. What's going on in the mind and through the dark eyes of Joseph Connors? What is his grand plan? The great change that he keeps speaking about. I'm sure we're going to find out more in the coming weeks, but for right now, the real story is Robbie X. The righteous Joseph Connors, Dan James and Lilith are standing side by side with British Wrestling's Crown Prince of Betrayal, Dara Diablo, and I do not know what it means. We are almost out of time. We are almost out of time, but this does not look good. What are they? Oh no. Oh no, they're not going to... They're going to unmask El Ligero. El Ligero has won, but they are going to mask the Mexican sensation. We're out of time. Join us next week. They're going to unmask Ligero. Oh, and there's Liam Slater. There's Liam Slater, and he has a chair. My God, Liam Slater is standing face to face. My God, what a moment. Liam Slater has that chair, and Joe Connors nodding to Dan James, the former best friend of Slater, who turned his back, and Slater has taken the higher ground, and now he has thrown it in the face of this young man who has endured so much, and Slater is at war with himself and his conscience because a fallen El Ligero lies in the centre of... Oh my God! Slater has taken out Dan James, and Slater has cracked. After all we've seen, Liam Slater has been driven one step too far by Joe Connors, who now stands side by side by Dara Diablo. This crowd is deafening at the whole City Hall. But the real story that's developing here is why is the association between British Wrestling's Crown Prince of Betrayal, Dara Diablo, and Joseph Connors, who leaves Dan James almost as a sacrificial lamb laid out in the centre of the ring. And that sacrificial lamb has finally taken Liam Slater to a dark place. We nearly saw an unmasked Mexican sensation, and we saw the formation of a dark entity in New Generation Wrestling. Join us next week. It was nearly all it took to beat Liam Slater, but it wasn't quite enough because Slater's still in this one as he goes for that DDT. The DDT, every single person Connors has hit that on has been beaten, and that's why Slater did everything he could to get out. Comes off the rope, crossbody in the centre of the ring. And this one has been really back and forth. But this crowd here has been on the side of Slater from the offset, and it's only continued to grow. Listen to them. Trying to remind Slater of that dance he used to do in the ring, and what? Oh my, what? Look, what's Lilith doing? What's that, Lilith? Like a kiss of death on Liam Slater. This is so confusing. On Slater back into that DDT. No, he's not gonna. He's got, and he does, and he connects it. Can Slater kick out? No one has. 2 and 3. No. Joseph Connors beats Liam Slater, and Lilith has just taken this into an even darker place. If that was even possible, she's managed to achieve it. My God, what a story. I have come to expect not to be shocked every time Joseph Connors is on British Wrestling Weekly, but with what we just saw by Lilith, I am shocked. We need to get a replay of what just happened because This match was going back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, look at Slate. Is that blood? I'm hoping that's lipstick. I think that's Lilith's lipstick on the face of Slater, which makes that image even more disturbing. And it's Liam Slater! Liam Slater, and look at the righteous Joseph Connors. This crowd feels what I feel, and that's that one of NGW's most heated rivalries has made its way into the Destiny Rumble. Mark Haskins, out of absolutely nowhere, cuts off Liam Slater before Slater had his chance of retribution against the man who's made his life a living hell. And look at, and Liam Slater chucks Haskins out, and now it's Slater and Connors. Slater and Connors. And Connors is saying to Slater, hit me. And I tell you what, Liam Slater's not going to be able to turn down that offer, and he doesn't. And Connors is, what's Connors doing? This crowd's saying one more time. And so is Connors. This is bizarre. And Connors takes that blow to the face again. What's going on here? Connors is saying, throw me out. This has got to be a trick. And Slater, and Slater has eliminated Joe Connors, who is smiling. And Connors is now clapping. I don't understand what is going through the mind of the righteous Joseph Connors, and by the look on his face, nor does Liam Slater. But we are going to have to wait another day to try and understand.
It's clear to see that the epic saga between the righteous Joseph Connors and Liam Slater is certain to be another major factor in British Wrestling Weekly Series 3, which begins on June the 4th. You won't want to miss it. Has your favourite unmissable moments made the list yet? Feel free to let us know online by using the hashtag NGWUK. In the meantime, however, we'll continue counting down the top 10 unmissable highlights of Series 2 of British Wrestling Weekly after a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
The show you're about to see is performed by highly trained professional athletes. The moves and actions are incredibly dangerous when not done by skilled professionals. Please do not attempt to try and do anything that you see in this program at home.
Welcome back to this very special edition of British Wrestling Weekly. I'm Ollie Davis from the WrestleTalk TV YouTube channel, and I'm counting down the top 10 unmissable moments from Series 2 of this very programme, which concluded with the epic 20-man over-the-top rope NGW Destiny Rumble. Don't forget that the eagerly awaited Series 3 begins on June the 4th, so don't miss it. Before that, however, let's turn our attention to what made it onto our list at number 3. Check this out. On last week's programme, we showed you how Nathan Cruz's NGW title defence against his childhood best friend Matt Myers was not only one of the most emotional matches in the history of televised British wrestling, but extremely worthy of spot number 3 on our list. In fact, many suggested it should have been placed much higher, yet the show stealers' title defences came incredibly thick and fast, with regular televised title matches featuring the champion becoming a major factor in British Wrestling Weekly Series 2. Cruz took on all comers as the holder of the UK's most important televised wrestling title, and in the process treated wrestling fans at NGW live events and TV viewers at home respectively to some truly spectacular in-ring confrontations as a result.
Landed on his head in Wembley Arena at TNA. Oh, we're going to see it here. Oh, we're going to see it. My God, and Cruz moves out of the way. Man, that was close. Charges, but Cruz catches and sends Haskins back. And there we go. Lung blower. Hollywood Boulevard hits it. Center of the ring. Ref in position. Leg is hooked. 2. And the top retains. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, that was close. And listen to this crowd, yeah. Cruz is frustrated. That was the closest near fall of this match. We are approaching the 20-minute mark, and these guys have given it their all. These two men are considered the very best of what they do in the UK, and they are giving it to you on a plate in our main event for this episode of British Wrestling Weekly. The best televised British wrestling action each and every week coming on your screens, and Cruz and Haskins has not disappointed, and we are far from done yet. Back in the centre, you can see the pain etched on both men's faces, and Cruz going for that show stolen, Haskins trying to fight out with all he has, sends Cruz into the corner, follows up, big forearm. Haskins there getting a breather, hits the corner again, but Cruz comes back with a forearm of his own. And look at these two gladiators. The steam is literally rising from their bodies as Cruz hits the corner, comes back to the knee, but Cruz has caught him. He caught Haskins and he's going, oh, this is what he told me he was going to do to compete with the submissions of Haskins. He said he would get that Texas cloverleaf. It's like a sharpshooter. But look at the pain on the face of the challenger, and look at the focus and determination on the face of the champion. And listen to this crowd, a jam-packed Liverpool Olympia is screaming for the challenger to tap. Will he tap? Was that a tap? No. Will he? Can he make the ropes? And he does. My God. Give Haskins credit. Give the challenger credit, because he managed to make it to the ropes, but how much damage has been done to his lower back is yet to be seen. God, what a main event. And the champion is pulling the challenger back in the ring, and he's going for that again. Oh, but Haskins rolls through, small package, 2 and 1. Really close, man. And look at Haskins still holding his lower back. This guy is a machine, a wrestling machine, but back on the shoulders, and show stolen by the champion. The challenger is out, but the champion is too exhausted to make the cover. My God, what a match right here. Can Cruz roll over and make the cover? Haskins landed on that lower back. He is in agony, 2, and that's on. Haskins rolls through, and there's a submission specialist coming into play. Look at that arm. Haskins literally wrenching out of the socket, taking him back into the centre, and my God, out of absolutely nowhere. How good is Haskins, and in how much trouble is Nathan Cruz? Look at that. The arm of Cruz almost looking like he's about to come out the socket, but Nathan Cruz, look at Cruz, he's fighting with all the body weight of Haskins on his back. What's he going for? Spins Haskins around and up onto the shoulders. My word! Show stolen! The ref is down! 2, 3, Cruz retains against Mark Haskins.
Nathan Cruz gets the distinction of appearing on 2 of our top 10 places consecutively in this episode, yet he is forced to share the penultimate slot on our list with his 2 most heated television rivals. Those men being none other than the first wrestler to unify the NGW heavyweight title, Rampage Brown, who Cruz would beat for the belts in Series 1, but who is yet to receive a rematch. The other is the show stealer's single most competitive in-ring rival since regular British wrestling matches began airing on free-to-view national TV for the first time in a quarter of a century. Liverpool's #1 ZACK GIBSON. However, when misplaced interference from Richie West and the Control cost Gibson his long-awaited match against the champion, Cruz's 2 biggest rivals would begin a war of their own against one another. As a consequence, the stage will be set in Series 2 for the incredible tensions between all 3 men to reach fever pitch and, in the process, provide us with yet another unmissable moment in British Wrestling Weekly Series 2.
Rampage is like a mirror image! And Cruz and Rampage Brown! God, this is like deja vu, but this time it's Nathan Cruz who's the champion and Rampage Brown who fires the shot. God, Literally, we had gone off air. I had taken off my headsets, and before I knew what had happened, oh, and they're still going. They're still going. And Cruz and Brown fighting with all they have. And Cruz, I just heard Cruz shout, "You want it, you got it." Remember, Rampage Brown is in the finals of the #1 contenders tournament, and he will face Zack GIBSON. But Rampage Brown intends to jump the queue because he has called out Cruz, and he's saying, "You want it, you got it." He is verbally giving Rampage Brown a shot, and Brown has gone berserk. Look at this. NGW Training School Academy graduates are being knocked left, right and centre all over the whole City Hall because the Control's unstoppable monster is living up to his name. And we're going to need to get more help out here. God, Brown has just lost it. And Cruz and I think I just saw Zack GIBSON Matt, Liverpool's #1, Zack GIBSON. I don't know if you heard the crowd here at the whole City Hall, but chanting for GIBSON. What's GIBSON doing out here? We know that he's got that match against Rampage Brown to determine the #1 contender, but GIBSON has got the mic.
Is that all it takes, is it? I'm coming to this ring, wrestling with SABRE Jr., but all it takes to get a title shot from you is a slap in the face.
Oh, GIBSON not happy with Cruz, saying that Brown can have a title shot. Oh, and GIBSON went to hit Cruz, and Cruz stopped him. Oh, and Brown's back in. And Brown goes straight for GIBSON and then straight back onto Cruz. God, I said it was like deja vu, but now this has turned into something completely different because it's not just Brown and Cruz. Zack GIBSON stands in the ring too. GIBSON taking a moment. And GIBSON's lost it. GIBSON is going for Rampage Brown, and GIBSON is on top of Brown. God, this is broken down, and broken down big, because the 3 power players in New Generation Wrestling are fighting, and fighting with all they have in a packed whole City Hall. Oh, and here comes Colossus Kennedy and the Heavyweight House of Pain Sticks. The NGW Tag Team Champions and Britain's biggest tag team are being brought in to break up the carnage. My God, Richie West even looks shocked.
Remember that you can let us know your personal highlight of Series 2 of this show online by using the hashtag NGWUK. Also, don't forget that British Wrestling Weekly Series 3 starts on June the 4th, and you simply won't want to miss it. No need to worry though, because we'll still be here every week until then, with a fine selection of special episodes that count down to the big return. Talking of which, we will finally conclude the top 10 unmissable highlights of Series 2 with our #1 pick after a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
The show you're about to see is performed by highly trained professional athletes. The moves and actions are incredibly dangerous when not done by skilled professionals. Please do not attempt to try and do anything that you see in this program at home.
Welcome back to the final part of this very special edition of British Wrestling Weekly. I'm Ollie Davis from the Wrestle Talk TV YouTube channel, and we have finally reached #1 on my list of the top 10 unmissable moments from Series 2 of this very show. Don't forget that the eagerly awaited Series 3 begins on June the 4th. For now, however, let's put you all out of your misery and find out what made spot #1 on my list. Drumroll, please! Being an avid follower of the incredible history of British wrestling, the return to UK TV screens of former British heavyweight champion Doug Williams in any capacity during British Wrestling Weekly would have been a major highlight for me personally. Yet, industry insiders were forced to sit up and take serious notice when the former champion of Noah in Japan, FWA in England, and both Ring of Honor and TNA in America earned spots number 20 in the huge Destiny Rumble match with a win over El Ligero. Did Williams, a true wrestling legend, still have what it took to win the biggest annual televised British wrestling match of the year against 19 other competitors, not to mention a guaranteed NGW unified heavyweight title shot on national television against the show stealer Nathan Cruz in the process? Well, one group that certainly didn't were Richie West and The Control, and it's with their jaw-dropping actions on this programme we're number 1 on our top 10 list of unmissable moments from British Wrestling Weekly Series 2 really begins.
Back here with you on British Wrestling Weekly, and Richie West has just offered Doug Williams £2,000 for his number 20 spot in the Destiny Rumble.
£2,000? Wow. Judging by how old you say I am, I could buy a whole house with that.
And he earned it with that win over Ligero. That was impressive.
I appreciate your offer, but the answer is no!
And that's what you call integrity, Richie West.
Okay, wait, no, okay. We can appreciate that. You've always been an honourable man, you've always been a fighter. We just want to say good luck for the Destiny Rumble.
Well, I don't think after all the things that Williams had said to him, it was inevitable that if Williams had turned down West's offer, this was going to happen, and something tells me that this pack of thugs here on British Wrestling Weekly had this in mind anyway. But a genuine British wrestling legend is at the receiving end of a 4-on-1, and that point proven by the Proven in the centre of the ring, and Haskins is saying hold him down, and he's saying it looks like Rampage Brown and Richie West have told Haskins to do something. Oh no. Haskins has got that steel chair, and look how Williams is laid out. That man is a British wrestling legend. And Rampage Brown has that chair. No way, no. Jesus! We need somebody needs to do something about this. I have known Doug Williams for 23 years, and this is the most disturbed I've ever been watching something in a professional wrestling ring. We need to. We need to get Williams some help. That was absolutely brutal. My God, I have seen The Control do some disgusting things in Richie West's pursuit of total domination in New Generation Wrestling, but seeing Doug Williams, who has given so much of his body and his soul for the growth of professional wrestling in Great Britain, to see what's just happened to him. Haskins can't believe it, but Gibson can, because he has made it his sole focus to get another contest against the NGW champion. The only man that can stop him now is the former champion, Rampage Brown, as these two monsters come face to face in the centre of the ring. And look at this, back and forth, huge forearms, and this one's broken down as one of these two men will be declared the winner of the Destiny Rumble. Rampage Brown goes for that pile driver. Gibson fights back, a Merseyside drop on the former champion. And Gibson, listen to this crowd. He feels the elimination of the Control's unstoppable monster is just one clothesline away. But it wasn't enough. He goes for a second. Almost. Will a third do it? Hits the ropes and, look at Richie West. Richie West trips at Gibson. And Richie West may have just made a big mistake, because Gibson is enraged, but he must not lose focus, because the stakes are too high in the NGW Destiny Rumble. This crowd screaming for Gibson to do it. Oh, and he hits West, and this place erupts. Oh, but what's that for Rampage Brown? Oh no! Oh, Gibson's been eliminated. Rampage Brown has won the NGW Destiny Rumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, ZACK has been eliminated.
is it's Doug Williams! Entrant number 20 is here! My God! Doug Williams is here in the Liverpool Olympia! He's holding his ribs, but he's made it! Oh, and Gibson's got a chair! Gibson's got a chair! Rampage Brown hasn't seen him and... Oh! ZACK GIBSON has levelled the playing field! Because the same steel chair that many thought had cost Williams his shot at destiny has played a part in karma, and now the odds have been evened. My God, what a story! Doug Williams is picking up Rampage Brown, who was knocked into next week. And look at the pain on the face of Williams as he tries to eliminate the former champion who blocks him and fights back. And have you ever seen Rampage Brown look so groggy? He's fighting with all he has left, but give Rampage Brown credit because he has enough sense left in him to viciously kick at Williams' ribs, the ribs that we thought were broken and that we later found out were bruised. And now, Samoan drop. He angled it perfectly onto the side of Williams. And look here on our replay what happened just moments ago. ZACK GIBSON was distracted, most likely on purpose, by Richie West, who sacrificed himself for what we thought was a win, as GIBSON was eliminated. But moments later, the man who earned his shot at number 20 by beating El Ligero made his way to the ring, holding his ribs. And Williams is now, precariously perched on that top rope, but he used his body weight to roll himself back in the ring. This crowd firmly on the side of a British wrestling legend, but Rampage Brown goes for that Samoan drop again. Williams fights out the back. Whoa, German suplex! And no, wait. Oh, Williams wins! My God, Williams has won!
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Destiny Rumble, number one contender to the new generation wrestling Undisputed Championship, the youngest, Doug Williams!
Can you believe what you're seeing at a jam-packed Liverpool Olympia? A true legend of British professional wrestling has won the most important match on the British wrestling calendar. He has earned a shot at the show stealer Nathan Cruz, who is the holder of the most important televised prize in British wrestling today. He has won gold in Japan. He has won gold in the United States of America. And possibly for one last time, Doug Williams has just earned a shot at British wrestling destiny.
So there you have it. A British wrestling legend receives what could be his last chance at televised British wrestling destiny with an NGW Unified Heavyweight title shot against the show stealer Nathan Cruz in British Wrestling Weekly Series 3. Of course, Cruz will also have Liverpool's number one ZACK GIBSON and the former champion, the Control's unstoppable monster Rampage Brown, to contend with too. As NGW attempt to rectify the pair's final in the number one contenders tournament going to a double disqualification, what I can tell you for sure is that New Generation Wrestling Management have promised to kick off British Wrestling Weekly Series 3 with a bang as it relates to the heavyweight title. What that means in exact terms is yet to be known, yet you have to believe it will be something pretty special indeed. The good news is that you won't have to wait long to find out, because Series 3 begins on June 4th, so don't miss it. Feel free to let us know what you thought of our list online by using the hashtag NGWUK. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I've been Ollie Davis, and as Charlie Shakespeare would say, I hope to see you ringside.